Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let me at the outset thank you all for your active participation in this conference. It has been an honor and a privilege for me to host this international conference on behalf of the OIC and as the chair of the Council of Foreign Ministers, as the Foreign Minister of Pakistan, here at the United Nations on International Women's Day, which marks the historic occasion for millions of Muslim women. We came together today to deliberate on ways to promote a better understanding of rights and identity of Muslim women in diverse cultural and formulate strategies to ensure that the full realization of their rights and aspirations. And not just that, but to celebrate the achievements of Muslim women who have been breaking new ground in their respective fields. I'm deeply inspired and heartened by the accomplishments of all our iconic women who are here today and their amazing journeys towards attainment of their dreams. Their inspiring stories, I am sure, will go a long way towards the empowerment of women and the promotion and protection of their rights in both Muslim and non-Muslim societies. I would also like to express my gratitude to all the participants, in particular the head of delegations, for delivering statements in the high-level segment. I am thankful to the iconic women for their enriched and fascinating discussion about their journeys towards breaking glass ceilings. They are and will continue to serve as role models for millions of young women and girls around the world. Excellencies, it is important that the international community recognize that Muslim women in their societies are acting as agents of change. They are actively participating in the socio-economic development of their respective countries. More importantly, instead of being passive members of their society, they are redefining and reshaping the role and identity of Muslim women. To overcome the perception and reality gap and the negative stereotyping, it is essential to create global awareness of the rights bestowed by Islam to women. Politicians, parliamentarians, policymakers, media, civil society, and religious leaders can play a pivotal role in countering such negative perceptions, even as they seek the full realization of the rights of Muslim women. Thank you. Excellencies, beyond the perception and reality gap, challenges to the empowerment of Muslim women and the enjoyment of their rights remain both for the Muslim and non-Muslim for Muslim and non-Muslim women. Some of these challenges flow from poverty, underdevelopment, and conflicts. We must make collective effort to address these challenges towards the implementation of the SDG 5, gender equality and the empowerment of women. First, we should reaffirm our support to the full, effective and accelerated implementation of the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, and the outcome of the 23rd Special Session of the General Assembly. The full and effective implementation of the OIC Action Plan for the Advancement of Women can be a critical element in meeting our international obligations. Second, to achieve the SDG 3 and 4, adequate resources must be mobilized, equitably allocated, and efficiently utilized. Financing is critical to overcoming the crisis in health and education, in particular to bridge the knowledge gap and the digital divide, and to harness the potential of technologies for all Muslim women and girls. Financial mobilization should include debt relief, concessional financing, official development assistance, and the redistribution of existing and new SDRs. Third, international partners, including international organizations, international financial institutions, and the private sector, should promote sustained gender-responsive, community-driven approaches for women's economic inclusion and participation, including support for social protection systems and assistance to governments for gender-sensitive and gender-responsive budgeting. 4, the government representatives and policy makers need to review and reform laws that discriminate against women, including those that restrict their economic, social, cultural, and political rights in Muslim and non-Muslim countries. This includes laws that restricts women's access to inheritance, property, and credit, as well as those that limit their ability to participate in the labor force. To create an inclusive societies, it is essential to encourage women's economic empowerment through access to credit, financial services, and entrepreneurship opportunities. This can be achieved through policies that support women-owned businesses and provide incentives for the private sector to invest in women-led ventures. 5th, ongoing conflicts, including the situations of occupation, are destroying the lives of millions of Muslim women and girls. OIC member states, with the cooperation of the international community and international financial institutions, must initiate programs to assist Muslim women and girls living in conflict zones or under foreign occupation, such as in Jammu and Kashmir and Palestine. Excellencies, our goal should continue to be the empowerment, inclusion, and participation of women in every sphere of life, including the social, political, legal, economic, and cultural. Let us all work towards making this decade the decade for gender equality. We have heard from the Organization of Islamic Countries. We have heard from the representative of Palestine, the state of Palestine, the representatives of Al-Aqsa Mosque, one of the most holiest sites in Islam, the representatives of Saudi Arabia, the custodian of the 2 holiest sites in Islam, Mecca and Medina. We've heard from Indonesia, the country of the largest Muslim population, from the east to the west, from the north to the south, the representatives of the Muslim world. We've all spoken with one voice, and all have declared that women's rights are Islamic rights, and Islamic rights enshrine women's rights. I now declare the Conference on Women in Islam, Understanding the Rights and Identity of Women in the Islamic World, closed. I thank you.